Hi Libra, this is going to be your love and life message for the 9th through the 12th. This is a second message that came through right after I posted what seemed to be a singles reading. So this message might resonate with singles as well as other folks that are tuning in. It just seemed like there was more that Spirit had to say. So as always, keep in mind, Libra, this is general. It's not going to resonate with everyone that watches. There could be some role reversal happening as well. If you're new, welcome to Soma Chandra Libra. Subscribe and hit the bell so you know when I read for your sign. Link to my website for private readings and to check out Astrology and Human Design is down below. Okay, let's begin. Forgive me if I'm a little slow, you guys. I woke up this morning and couldn't breathe out of my nose. I haven't been in Virginia in a long time, and I forgot something about the Mid-Atlantic. I'm allergic to it. So, yeah, I'm allergic to the DC metro area, so I'm a little slow. My head hurts a little bit, but it did not stop me from channeling this message. Let's take a look. First of all, like outside of, maybe this is part of what's going on, or something that Spirit, wants you to focus on overall, is Ceres, nurture, midheaven, the pinnacle of your success, and the second house is coming out. Your main catalyst or challenge is climate, transits. So you need to nurture your midheaven. I want you to, at some point, I think it's a good idea. I'm going to do it. I would like you to do it too. I think Spirit wants us to do this, is to look up our midheaven placement. And if you can see, any of the other aspecting planets to your midheaven, what house it falls in. If your midheaven falls in your second house, the message is definitely for you. It's really time in September, or this part of September, to nurture your midheaven energy and nurture the highest expressions of that placement and look at how you see yourself being successful. And it's all very related to your second house, which is about resources, money, assets, finances, but your access to resources is going to be in focus for you right now. For those of you that have struggled this year to nurture career and success, and the second house and resources has been difficult, Spirit is reminding you. I saw this card and I was like, I think Spirit's trying to remind everybody that 2023 has just been a shit year. Like really, because of all the retrograding planets, it's creating kind of a squeeze and a restriction, but all that retrograded planets are really about is reevaluation, review, reevaluate, redo. So I think that in regards to earning potential and career success and being able to nurture that, you will be very affected by the climate, by the transits that are happening. I'm also hearing that some of you need to honestly assess the climate that you live in. Maybe quite literally the weather. For some of you, weather does impact your business. But of course, most people, or I shouldn't say most people, what do I know? Not everyone is impacted by weather, but more so the climate that you live in. And being able to tap into whether or not there is a need for what it is that you want to do with your life. Some of you may be in the wrong area for what it is you want to do. Some of you are in the right area. You just have to look around. Resources might be right under your nose. So there's this huge focus on earning potential and your resources. You will be moving in alignment with the climate, with the transits. But it's definitely time to nurture it and pay attention to it. God, I'm at a loss for words today too, you guys. I'm sorry, bear with me. But in general, there's something weird going on. And I'm hearing there's some sweet revenge. Some turnabout is fair play. I definitely see a person around you that's probably getting what they deserve. Try not to gloat, but I don't think you're going to be able to help yourself. Your advice as well here on Earth from Spirit is purity, freedom, and power. But the catalyst for all of that is release. I have release and walk away out of my Oracle deck. Release and walk away. Just let it go. Let it go. I see karma as a bitch down here. Someone was fawning. They were just curious. Okay, they told me not to look at that right now. There's something that you need to release. And as you release and walk away and let something go, you're going to purify yourself. I think this might be the second purity message that's been coming out. A lot of purification and purity has been coming out. That's very attached to Virgo season. They are the pure virgin. So as you purify and embrace freedom, your power as a person is going to rise. You are meant to be washing yourself clean from something, but you can't do that unless you release it and walk away. You can't just dip your toe in the pool. I'm hearing it's like an all or nothing. Energy around you is hoping, waiting, expecting, and manifesting, but they're also an emotional whirlwind. They're affected, they're dramatic, and they might be unstable. I also have a lot of pride here, ego, arrogance, and stubborn love. You might be dealing with a Pisces, an Aquarius, or a Leo. Actually, I'm hearing Cancer more than Pisces. Someone is stubborn and arrogant. They're hoping for something here with you. I'm kind of getting the sense that this person won't take no for an answer. I'm also hearing, though, that as much as they're hopeful and they're expecting something to happen in their lives or between the two of you, they're also kind of, I mean, it says it right here, they're affected. They're not effective, they're affected. And they're dramatic and they're unstable and stubborn. That's not a great card combination. Your overall energy, Libra, is boundaries. No crossing the line, like no crossing this line. You're drawing your line. No, boundaries are a thing for you. But then mirror, reflection, shared feelings, you're really looking yourself in the mirror. I'm hearing the next couple of days, you're going to do a lot of self-reflection. I'm hearing, how the hell did I get into this situation? Like, what part did I play? And you won't have time you won't be able to give yourself the space and time to do that unless you have boundaries with this person. And then letting go, releasing, walking away, and moving on. Frozen is at the bottom of the deck. Silence, stillness, no words. I don't think you're going to talk to this person for the next 4 to 5 days. But I wanted to know what was between the two of you. A heart song, inner knowing, telepathy, and intuition. Yeah. So it's pretty clear, and it's pretty clear based on the tarot too. You have a person around you that does look somewhat unstable, potentially. They also look very selfish and arrogant. I think they're going to try everything in the book to mess with you, to get at you, and to make you afraid in some way as well. The issue is there might be a telepathic connection between the two of you. Please, please do not exonerate that and romanticize that. I have had telepathic connections with some people in my life that were fucking horrible for me, and they were toxic as shit, and our relationships were horrible. And just the point I'm trying to make is, just because you may have a telepathic connection to this person does not mean that God wants you to be in this relationship, because you have walk away, release, letting go boundaries for a reason. But it can be difficult to do that, and really just like nerve-wracking when you have an inner knowing about them, when there is a possibility of a telepathic connection. And I do have, you're the high priestess with the Ace of Swords over here. So you're probably pretty tapped in, whether you want to be or not. I will say this, if you want to let go and have boundaries, I suggest not trying to tap in. Don't think about them as much as you can. Like, if you catch yourself thinking about them and you start to have these body sensations and you think it's a telepathic connection, tell yourself no and cut it off, because it would appear that you have these boundaries in place for a reason. I hear that this person might be quite a force of nature. So it's difficult because you have this telepathic connection, but purify yourself. Fasting may help with this. And just focusing on your freedom, focusing on release, realizing that the more and more you get away from this person, the more powerful you become. That happened to me. I walked away from a few people about 10 years ago, and within a year's time, I was more powerful than I'd ever seen myself be. You just got to walk away. But someone's getting justice, Libra, because the overall energy of someone around you is justice, but the way they feel is the Magician. You're being seen as the Four of Swords. You don't want to do a whole lot. What you need to know, or your advice, is the Eight of Wands, and the final outcome is the Nine of Cups. So someone might really be trying to get the last word with you, but I feel like you're getting some kind of sweet revenge or justice. But I do see a walking away. There is pain here, and also like just thinking about it, a lot of self-reflection. Maybe some ghosting happening here. So with justice, this person sees themselves as justice. They could be a Libra like you, but I have other signs here. Clarifying, this is the Wheel of Fortune, the Hangman, and the Seven of Wands. All right, look. This card combination, Justice, the Wheel of Fortune, and the Hangman, to me, for me, this always means someone has gotten themselves into a situation that they probably put themselves in, and they cannot get out of it. They can't. They're backed into a corner. They have no choice but to accept the consequences. There's something that they don't like about that, though. I'm hearing this person doesn't want to make a sacrifice. This person doesn't want to relent. This person, the more and more they live their life the way they are living their life, the less and less support they're going to get. This person is not supported. A bunch of people woke his ass up in the middle of the night, and he's like, what the hell? Get away from me. What are you doing? This person has people angry at them. They do. This person has people angry at them. This person is losing their support. There's nothing they can do. And you need to know that this is a cycle that's been a long time coming to get to this point. It's not going well for them. And yet they still think they have a few tricks up their sleeve with the Magician. They could be an Aries, a Gemini, or a Virgo. Also, they could have Capricorn in their chart, but I'm not going to read the signs here. This person does have a plan. Clarifying, this is the Five of Swords, the Devil, and the Magician. All right. I don't want to scare you guys because I myself am not at all afraid of magic and black magic. Anyone doing black magic on me can fuck off. You're pathetic. You're nothing. Like, but I do see a person here that might attempt to resort to that. In their heart, they resort to that. This is, you are going to lose and I am going to win. And I am not motivated by healthy things, and I am manipulative. I am calculated. Someone has gotten themselves into a situation that they're getting justice for. They deserve this. They need this lesson. Now they are bent. And I think they're going to project onto you, which is kind of fucked up because they're like hoping and wishing and they have a stubborn love. And I'm hearing that they're like, no, our relationship is not ending. I'm not giving up. I'm not letting go. I'm hearing, I'm going to fucking make you. You're going to stay with me. You're going to love me. This person has probably gotten themselves into a desperate situation. Big time. But it's not stopping them from going into some weirdo, gross, triggered response where they get really manipulative. It's either that or they're angry with a Capricorn or an Aries. I'm also hearing that this person thinks that they're better than everybody else. They may have very, very right-wing, conservative, religious, and political points of view. I myself am all for letting everybody have their point of view, but when we start to swing into these extremes, we view the other as the enemy. This person, when they look at you, they may see the devil. I bring all that up because they may think that you're making unhealthy choices with your life. I think they're the ones making unhealthy choices with their life. I also think they blame you. I think they want to get back at you for something. I was like, whoa, this is bad. I'm so sorry if that resonates with you, but you're being seen as the Four of Swords. I think you're just taking a break from this whole situation. I think you're going to be tired over the weekend. I think you want nothing to do with it. Some of you have no idea that this is going on. Like, you don't even know that this is happening, but you may sense it with the High Priestess and the Hermit and the Nine of Swords. The two of you may not be talking to one another, but you can feel each other. And again, I wouldn't romanticize that. Like, that's actually not as big of a deal. It doesn't mean as you think it is. It doesn't mean there's anything special or important that's supposed to happen between the two of you. Trust me. Trust me. I feel other people's shit virtually 24/7. They're not all my twin flame. Like, you're not all my twin flames. If I do readings for you, if I psychically connect to you, like, I'm seeing like two people that might be feeling one another and sharing a mutual anxiety, or this is just all your anxiety. I think that you are trying to like ghost this person, shut the door here by just not saying anything. I don't have the Eight of Cups though, and like the Nine of Wands or the Two of Swords. I do have the Two of Swords over here. I think that some of you have not like completely blocked this person yet. You're just trying the silent treatment. And the more quiet you are, the more stressful it becomes. Here's why. Because what you need to know or your advice is the Eight of Wands. They're going to send you a shit ton of messages clarifying this is the King of Swords, the Seven of Swords, and the Three of Swords. For some of you, this is you. And you're like, I want nothing to do with you. This is heartbreaking. I think you're receiving the messages. I notice that the messages are coming in and Libra's like, what did you just say to me? Do you not see me holding a sword? Unbelievable. And they like hurting you. They're fucking with you. This is heartbreaking. You have very little to say. You have nothing to say to them. Some of you are just stonewalling this person, and the more you stonewall them, this person may think that you owe them some kind of an explanation or that you're supposed to be making something right with them. And you're like, actually, I don't need to make anything right with you. But for others of you, this person is the magician. The King of Swords is the devil and the magician, and they're in this bad place. You know, based on the oracle cards, it's like, no, I love you. This person does want forgiveness too, but they're going to like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde you. They're going to be manipulative because I think they're obsessed and they're fueled by possessiveness and anger. They're not going to be honest. I think they're going to send you messages that might be threatening, that might make you feel horrible. Like, they are really getting it. They may get messages that they don't want to hear that makes them even more pessimistic. I'm also hearing that this is another person in their life that they thought was going to stand by them. And he was like, nope, I think you're an asshole too. I'm on Libra's side. Like, this person's losing their support. This person might have been, like, when I get the King of Swords and Justice, sometimes that's a lawyer, male or female lawyer. And I'm hearing if you're going to court with this person, even their lawyer is like, nope, you can't win this. We have to try a different strategy. And this person's like, no, we don't. I have this trick up my sleeve. I have that trick up my sleeve. I am hearing this person will be volatile. They'll try every angle they can with you. But the final outcome is the Nine of Cups. That's fat, happy, and satisfied. Clarifying this is the Ace of Swords, Justice, and the Fool. Now, I think this is you, Libra. Something is going to happen where I'm here. This is vindication. You will feel vindicated. I think this person is hanging themselves. They hung themselves. But in their final hours, because we do have the Ten of Swords, like in their final hour, they're going to try every little thing they can. They're going to be mean. They're going to yell. They're going to be manipulative. They're going to make threats. And they don't, like, now they're getting pushy, insistent. And I honestly think that you're like, yep, Spirit's like, I'm on your side. You have something to be happy about. Justice will be served in your favor, and the Fool. Bye. Something's going to happen that makes you feel really happy. This person's getting like almost like a punishment here, and they're mad. I'm also hearing that this person has like OCD and they're really neurotic. For some of you, it's a man. For others of you, it's a woman. And I don't think they can get any support, and you're going to get like your justice and your revenge. But I also think that this is creating an opportunity for you, Libra, to get in touch with your own higher self and your own spiritual motivations, because I know I always start with them, but I'm going to start with you. You're the High Priestess again. You're pretty tapped in right now. The High Priestess to the Ace of Swords. Your intuition has been correct all along, and now I think you're starting to trust your intuition and believe your intuition. You guys have heard me say it probably a zillion times. I always want the High Priestess to go to the Ace of Swords. Always. I always want it to go to the Ace of Swords or the Sun or something that involves positivity and clarity. I never want the High Priestess to go to like the Devil or the Moon or pain, or like the 8 or the 9 of Swords. That means our intuition just isn't helping us. Spirit is telling you your intuition is correct. I'm also hearing with the Sword of Truth and Discernment, that's the Sword of Libra. That's the Sword in the Rose. The Sword in the Rose involves a lot of purity, not vengeance. It's protecting and championing innocence and truth and purifying it. It's like the opposite of gaslighting, and Spirit is trying to pierce your mind with that concept. And I do think you know what's happening. I also think that you are just going to be like one fell swoop done. And you do see yourself as silent and tapped in, but your action is the Queen of Cups. Some of you are going to go talk to a Queen of Cups, a Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. Some of you have water in your chart. I'm hearing it's in a placement that's very important. It's like your midheaven or your North Node. Maybe your Black Moon Lilith or your Chiron. Maybe it's your Pluto. It's something that you need to work on that has a lot of lessons in it for you to learn. Facing your shadow side, facing your light side. I think that you are trying to be very compassionate. I think that you still care about this person, but I notice she's turned away, right? She's not looking at all this. And underneath the Queen of Cups, I mean, I always got to clarify the Queen of Cups because she can be very susceptible to being emotionally manipulative or being codependent, not emotionally mature. But you're coming out as a queen, so that's good. But queens create an environment for other people. Make sure you create a loving environment for yourself first. But underneath is the Two of Swords. You have a decision to make, the Knight of Pentacles. You're stopped kind of dead in your tracks and you're looking back over your shoulder at heartbreak. So I do think you're trying to block this person out. But notice this, how this person is like, I swear to fucking God, I'm going to get the last word. You're going to pay attention to me. You're going to do what I want. I'll even threaten you with magic. I'll say or do whatever I have to. A part of you like does respond to that. See how she's moving in towards the Magician? There is this weird thing happening between the two of you. I think you know it, and I think it scares you. You're worried. This bugs you. You might be really worried that this person's going to try to take revenge. I think they're going to tell you that they will. And you're thinking, well, I'm at an impasse on like what to do next. I'm just stopped here in my tracks and whew, this hurts. I think you look back over your shoulder at their pain too. A part of you thinks that you can still rescue them, or maybe that you're responsible for them. But I think you know you're not. Otherwise, you wouldn't be walking away. And your oracle messages are spiritual bypassing. It's not as special as I made it out to be. I don't make the best choices. I want revenge. Spiritual awakening. But walk away. You're a little all over the place. I definitely I think you're having a moment where you're seeing the full scope of your own spiritual energy and what you can put it towards, what you should put it towards, what it's worth it to put it towards. I think you're definitely at this point, I mean, the card says what it says. You may realize that you did a lot of spiritual bypassing where you're like, wow, like I really clung to that we're together in the fifth dimension twin flame bullshit. Like I really fed myself a bunch of intellectualized bullshit when really this whole time nothing spiritual was happening. I was just in a fucked up relationship with this person. And you're going to realize that the moment of disillusionment is probably the most important moment you can have in a spiritual journey. Reality bites. But that's where we exist, is in reality. So you're going to realize that. Don't beat yourself up. I'm seeing you kind of observe yourself like you're just sort of observing about yourself like, yeah, I definitely don't always make the best choices. Me neither, Libra. Nobody does. Nobody always makes good choices. You're going to see really clearly where your bad choices were made. A part of you is feeling very vengeful. If you have an ounce of Aries or Scorpio in your chart fueling this, when you put the luminous warriors of Mars with justice, oh my God, Libras can be very vengeful. I do think you want revenge. But at the same time, you're having a spiritual awakening. And this is like, I'm like, well, these cards don't match the Queen of Cups. Like she's really loving and nurturing. She doesn't have a vengeful bone in her body. I feel as though the Queen of Cups is a guide. She's a guide, like the guide of Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces, like really trying to come in and say, come with me. Let me show you what being emotionally mature and emotionally diplomatic and compassion really looks like. You don't like, this is like, I feel like this guide is saying to you, she might be talking to you right now, saying, this is not the way. It's not the way. Revenge is not the way. You'll be sorry later. Don't open up. Don't talk to them. A part of you might be really getting off on watching this person fall apart. You are who you are in this moment. You may feel like you're getting revenge. And you yourself are having a spiritual awakening. You know, Libra, with these cards, purity, freedom, and power, the more you get yourself out of this kind of relationship or situation, like you're going to have your moment where you're like, yeah, who's your daddy now? It all fell apart on you. I'm happy. Everything went fine for me. I did get my vengeance. Look at you falling the fuck apart like an angry little kid. But I think the more you let that go and the more you walk away and the more you release and you focus on pure spirit, being pure of mind, pure of heart, and pure of spirit, and feeling that freedom that comes with it, your personal power will rise. Spirit rewards those that champion innocence and champion purity. And I think that like mid-September, you're going to have some mind-blowing, deeply personal spiritual moments where you can't block out your own pain. You have to let yourself grieve. You do have feelings for this person. This person may give you good news, but you know it's not good news. Don't let them get off on hurting you. Here's what they have to say. Oh boy, please forgive me. Sudden realizations, toxic family, and fight. Okay, so they may scapegoat and blame their family. Oh, it's like, I'm sorry, I don't mean to be this way. Like my family's toxic. We're fighting. I'm really sorry. I'm suddenly realizing. Of course, it could be this. I'm hearing this as I pick up these cards and connect with them. This person may simply be telling you, you were trying to tell me all along that my family was fucked up. Well, after this fight, now I know it. Now I know it. You were right, Libra, and I just didn't want to see it before. If that happens, that's going to make you very smugly satisfied, but you might be a little bit worried about how it's going to impact you. Like some of you have a romantic partner that's very healthy or they're trying to be anyways, and they have to break away from their own toxic family. But when family is all you have, it can be really hard to do that. So they could be fighting with a toxic family and saying, I'm really sorry. I'm really seeing this now for what it really is. But they might be, if there's shit going down between the two of you, they're going to be like, I'm so sorry. I'm realizing how I was. I've been toxic. My family is toxic. We fight. This is where I learned how to do this. Don't let them blame a dead relative for their shit behavior right now. That only goes so far, right? Like, oh, I learned this was like passed down from my family and I didn't mean it and I can't help myself. You can help yourself. You just have to try, dude. But like they may pull manipulation tactics. They see themselves as very vulnerable with the Page of Cups, like a little child. But at the same time, like it's very difficult to approach you. They have a lot of pride. Their action is they're all trapped in their head. They don't know what to do. And with the Knight of Cups underneath, the Five of Cups and the Four of Cups, this person's sulky, whiny, highly emotional. They're falling apart. They're pretending that they're not vulnerable, but they are. And something that they don't see is that they have very immature and unrealistic expectations. They're deeply sorry. They feel stuck. They don't know what to do. They want you to understand them. This person has like an enormous wounded inner child that makes them behave in a horrible way. I also hear that this person thinks like the world is out to get them. That's just because they're keeping the wrong company. Yeah. You need to know, Libra, that this person is going through all of this for a reason. You're going to feel somewhat vindicated. I'm also hearing that someone is going to like use a mental health diagnosis to like maybe get out of jail. They may end up going to a hospital instead, or like a rehab program or something like that, and that makes you really nervous and worried. Just walk away and let it go, because you're supposed to be nurturing your midheaven, your pinnacle of success. You're supposed to be focusing on your resources, your assets, your finances, and focusing on the astrological climates that can help propel you forward and how to work with them. I almost feel like you don't have time for all of this. This was intense. It drained me. Whew. All right, Libra. I thought about doing an extended, but this person is like, this is where they need to be. They need to go through this lesson. Justice is served in your favor. If this resonated with you, just work through your anxiety and try to surround yourself with support. You do look a little isolated. Try not to live in like a secrecy. Let people in that can support you during this very intense time. Okay, you don't need to go it alone. I'm here for you too. Link to the website for private readings is down below. I'm always listening to the universe for you, Libra. Take care. I love you guys. I'll see you next time.